Is my screen visible?
No.
Yes,
Yes,
yes, I
now
can.
it's
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so everyone, welcome to this course of JMeter Performance Testing with lab practice. So basically here, if you see the extensive overview of this course, mainly what all we will be covering and all. First of all, the tool which we will be extensively covering is JMeter. See, when you speak about performance, we have different tools in the market. If you'd have heard about, we have the load runner, which is very common tool in the paid section. So then we have the neo load. Then many other tools are in the market nowadays, which are especially being used for performance. But here we will be focusing mainly on JMeter. Okay, so how we can leverage JMeter in performance testing and simulating users and all. So we'll be seeing that in this course, and we'll be going to see. We'll be seeing very advanced level concepts also, where you can apply JMeter to test applications which are like generally it's not like only you cover some basics, and but here you will get a very good idea of how we can like how leverage it for many other purposes. Then if you see the course structure, so first basically before we start JMeter, we will be also seeing a bit on performance testing basics also, because since this performance is like not only testing, even nowadays the performance engineering is growing, right? Like if you see overall, everyone is looking for performance engineering, not testing alone, right? So if you attend some interviews and all, nowadays that word performance testing is not being used anywhere. So I'm audible, right, everyone? Can anyone confirm?
yes, sir. You are audible.
Yes, yeah, thank you, Balaji. Yeah, right. So nowadays the performance engineering is what people are expecting from everyone. So we will be seeing like some basics of how how what all we do, because there are mix of an audience here. So if someone is not aware of some concepts like basic concepts of performance testing or engineering, so we will have a small overview, a quick overview on that basics, and then we will be jumping into JMeter introduction and core concepts, where we'll be seeing like why people are generally using JMeter and what are the reasons for that. How do you develop a script using JMeter? What are some basic or components inside JMeter which you can use to build your script? Then how you simulate your execution, like how you execute your tests, then how you analyze your test based on what you ran, and some basic indicators, how you deep dive into analysis. So there comes the AppDynamics part. So we will be using AppDynamics to find out like mainly the bottlenecks which are there when we are doing performance testing. So JMeter scripting we'll be seeing very extensively, and there are some important concepts in scripting which we need to understand, like for example correlation, then we have extractions, then different concepts. So it is the mainly the extraction, the regular expression extractors, or how you extract the boundaries or dynamic values is a very important concept in scripting, which is a place where generally people get stuck, because they are not able to capture the dynamic variables or values. So we will be seeing different cases, like it's not like okay, one we extracted and it's done. No, we will be seeing different cases, Like for example, what happens if you have a lot of spaces in front of your left boundary, or what happens if your value what you're capturing is a mix of alphanumeric and punctuation marks and all. So different scenarios, we will see how to extract those dynamic values, what is a dynamic value, and all those stuff we will be covering. Then we'll be seeing how to execute a test. We'll be seeing how you run a distributed test, how you can connect lgs to your jmeter, and you can run your test for if you want to do a high level test. Like for example, you can run a test for maybe 50 users without any lgs, but when you're going for higher number of users, you need to have lgs. So how you connect it to jmeter, how you control the heap size, different elements which are used while you're executing the test, and all those, like, and what method you need to use, what is the right way, or we can say a standard way to develop a script and execute it. All those we will be covering. Then we will be seeing, like, not only from the beginning itself, we'll be seeing different JMeter elements, like what all elements like and what are their purposes and how you apply it in your script. We'll be seeing that too. Then we will be seeing JMeter integration with AppDynamics, and how you can test some REST APIs using JMeter, because nowadays, like shift left is growing. So, is anyone aware about shift left? Like, already applied in your organization? Anyone? Or what basically happens in shift left? Right. So yeah, no problem. So basically, what happens is nowadays the industry is more adapting to the agile method, right? So that the waterfall sort of method, or what we can say, the waterfall model is getting little bit extinct because of the agile, the faster go live, or we can say faster movement to production. So what happens is now shift left is happening, where the testing generally used to happen in the test environment. So if you see the test environment, uh, basically it comes after dev. So let's say if you have dev environment, then you have a test environment, then you have a production or staging environment, whatever. So now what is happening is that testing is happening from the dev environment itself. So if you see the direction, like dev, then test. So this is the right direction. Okay, right. We are seeing right, right. So this is the right. So we have dev, we have test, we have production, right? So this is the right direction. Now what we are doing, we were testing the things from here, but now we are testing from dev also. Okay, so that means we are shifting left. So that's why it's called shift left. So generally this concept is basically you are starting your testing from the lower environments itself. So when you are doing something from the dev environment, there the API testing comes into picture a lot. So basically in the test environment, you will be doing an integrated low integration test, or an end-to-end test we call it. But when you are testing it in dev environment, when there are microservices and all, you test the APIs mainly, and how you test the APIs and REST services, that we need to say, because it's totally different from how you test a web service. So that also we will see, like how to capture an API into JMeter and how to test it, how to record a web service and test it. So those scenarios also we will be seeing a tool called Fiddler. Okay, how you can use Fiddler or maybe Charles to debug these requests. What we are getting, we will see that too. So tool wise, if you see, mainly we are going to see JMeter. We'll use Fiddler to capture the mobile, like how you capture your mobile request, no, like the application, because in laptops or in the PCs you can directly record it using the browser. But if you have an application like mobile app, how you record it into your JMeter, and how you test it, how you test a mobile application. For that you need something called a Fiddler, or some proxy tool like Charles, or even directly JMeter also we can use. So we will see that how we use that. That we will cover. Then we will be seeing AppDynamics integration with JMeter, like how we can integrate JMeter with AppDynamics and capture the requests in AppDynamics to analyze. Right. So that's a brief overview of what all we'll be covering in this course. Any question, anyone?
What about bean shell? Hello. Hello.
Yeah, and timing of this course mainly will be daily, like daily the same time what we have started today. But it will run for around 1.5 hours daily, and they're like the first two sessions, it will be only 1 hour long, not 1.5 hours. Then after that, yeah, Shansha, yeah, we will be covering Bean Shell also, obviously. We will be seeing how we can use Bean Shell to capture dynamic values, capture responses. We'll be seeing that, yes. Jenkins and AWS we will not be seeing, because no, I meant, see, JMeter with AWS integration, there is nothing like that. It's just an application. So if you have an AWS application, if you're testing it using JMeter, that's it. There's no integration as such. But Jenkins, yes, we have a JMeter plugin in Jenkins. But if time constraints, like if I don't know whether I will be able to cover that. But if there is time, maybe I can plan out that quickly how to integrate JMeter with Jenkins, or else I can share some good materials also, which you can go through, and when you are doing it, if you face some issue, you can contact me anytime. I can help you out. Right, Neeraj? Right. Okay. Any other question, anyone? Like something which you want, like Neeraj asked, like anything you want extra which you feel could be useful if we cover here, or yeah, so basically we are planning to cover it in around 30 hours. Uh, plus some plus hours, maybe 30-32 hours max. We'll plan to cover everything. Yes, API testing we have. That's what I called out. So when you're shifting left, when you're going into dev environment, JMeter is very extensively used for API testing. So we will be covering that, how to test APIs using JMeter. Yes. We'll also see how to develop a workload model for APIs also. And yeah, so basically AppDynamics is now main reason is not no specific reason, like Dynatrace also you can go for, but if you know AppDynamics, the free version is little bit more flexible compared to Dynatrace. When you are teaching, like when you're training students, it's far more flexible. The trial version of AppDynamics, and also um, it's little easy to use compared to Dynatrace, and also being like adapted more than Dynatrace in organizations, because it's easy to configure. Okay, nowadays if you see the market, AppDynamics is getting more popular compared to Dynatrace. And once you learn AppDynamics, Dynatrace will also be very not that tough to learn, because the concepts will be pretty much similar. The profiling, the drilling down, and all. No, so it's more. Yeah, so basically we have a project. I meant a real-time project we don't have, because this course doesn't have it, but we have an application on which we will be testing. So it's more sort of that. But real-time project, so there's one another course uh, um, which I was planning to start, but yeah, due to some time constraints and all, I couldn't start. Maybe in maybe later on I will plan something like that, because it will be little bit more hours and all. Placement as, yeah. So these questions, I think you can ask Isha, like Kumar or Anita. So they will be able to guide you better. Yeah. So basically, initially we'll be starting with JPEG Store, and we also have another application called Sock Shop, which is a microservice based application. We'll be seeing that one also. Yeah, so lab practice is basically whatever we are trying to do here. No, you what I expect is you will also try to do it on your end, and you can resolve your queries in live sessions itself, rather than we wait for the classes end and then you go and try it out. No, so we can do have a live sessions also. Sorry. where you can practice and you can clear your queries. Yeah, we can see basically what the cloud which we'll be using is Google Cloud for now, but it's pretty much similar, because only the names change. Like the compute engine will be EC2 instance there, so that things are pretty much similar. So basically we will be seeing the metrics analysis in whatever cloud we are using, but it will be similar to AWS. You can just transfer the things. I mean, only the names will be different. So maybe I will also try to match Google Cloud and AWS together. I mean, because why I'm using Google Cloud is nothing very uh, strong reason, but only thing is the free trial is very flexible in Google Cloud, because they give $300 credits for 3 months when you create a free trial account. And this there you don't have any resource limitations, like you can only create this using free trial, or that limitations are not there. But in AWS we have a lot of limitations. Correct. Yeah, we will be covering that in the initial sessions, where performance testing we'll be seeing, right? So how you develop a workload model, how you read the NFRs, and like plan your scenarios and all. Yeah, obviously for any entry level person, JMeter is a best tool, because once you learn JMeter, all other tools will be simpler to you. Only because only the GUI will change, concepts will remain same. Because first of all, it's an open source also, so you can play around with that tool a lot with JMeter. So and it's, if you see the market, JMeter is the leader. Okay, in, if you see, I meant even small, you take small to medium to large companies, they are using JMeter, because small companies, they, or medium companies, sometimes they might not go to LoadRunner or Neoload, which are paid tools, because you have to pay for the license. JMeter is very commonly used in those circumstances. Only a large companies, if they have good budget and all, they go for LoadRunner or Neoload. But in the rare case scenarios, so if you see the market, like JMeter is always leading in performance tool till now. Yeah, right. So any other question, anyone? Okay, so let's start. Yeah, so basically evening all, see, once we start our course, we can reschedule our course evening or morning based on the audience vote. Or like I meant, if majority of the audience they prefer evening class, so what we can do is we can shift this class to maybe evening sometime, whatever the audience, majority of the audience prefer. Okay, so we can do that always. We can reschedule the class based on the audience. Since this is a demo sessions, we won't decide that time now, but once the classes start, we will discuss with all the audience and we can reschedule, or else we can continue with what we have planned. Yeah, I will cover yeah, that's a good thing. If you want, I can cover interview questions also. It's not, I don't have, I haven't explicitly mentioned it here, but what I can do is I can just note it down and I can cover that, not a big deal. Yeah, I can give you some good interview questions as I teach you. Yes, yes, you will get the Google Drive link once you join the course. Once your real session start, in that Google Drive link, you will have all the PPTs related to JMeter, and some good materials, books, and all. So let me share my screen. Yeah, yeah. So this whole drive I will share with you all. There are different materials here. Basically, if you see. So some good notes are there in that. Basically, from my experience, what all I have observed and what all is being done. No, so those I have noted down into the notepad, which will be helpful for you to crack the interviews and all, right? Because just the PPTs, I always feel it's not enough for because there are some experiences which we experience when we do the tests and all, right? So those I have just made different notes of that, okay, and like a material, so that I will share with you all. Then also I have PPTs which I will be sharing with you all, basically of this course, okay. So that also, yeah. So PPTs are there which I will share with you all. So all this you will get once like you join the course. Yeah, this drive link I'll be sharing totally with you. Right. So let me try to. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, Vishnu.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So let's then start. Okay. I guess almost the questions are clear. So let's start. So basically, I will be today, maybe today or tomorrow, 2 sessions. I'll be going little fast. I meant a little fast means I'll be covering through. So it's more sort of a summary sort of thing, sessions which will happen in the next two days. So we'll be coming back to all these to go in detail also. Okay, because this is more sort of a demo session. So we need to cover like what all we'll be covering this course, so everyone gets an idea. So that for that only these overview sessions are there. Yeah. So now basically, if you see any performance testing tool, why are they used? First of all, it is to simulate the real user behavior. So if you have a user, how the real user will perform, or what all activities that user will perform in your application, to simulate that only these performance testing tools are used. So basically these are user simulators, we can call it, okay. So basically these tools are, you can call, they simulate the users based on different methods, like some have thread based method, some have process based method. So there we'll see all those, how these tools do that, okay, how they create these users. Now, so basically, so based on this, like what is your purpose, you need to choose your tool. So now to choose a tool, you need to know whether the tool is an open source tool, because if you get a paid one, then there is a cost behind it, right? Then you need to calculate the ROI and all. So choose, when you choose a tool, better to go with the open source tool, because it's a free one and you can start as soon as you want with that. And especially if you see the JMeter as a tool, why it is so commonly or used is because the installation is very easy. You don't need to install it. I mean, if you have Java running in your in your machine, you can just directly download the folder. It's like, it's more sort of a standalone. Okay, you can just directly click and start JMeter. That's all. There is not much of a installation required in setting up JMeter. So that's why it's very easy and lightweight, and it's an open source tool, and it's easy to understand. The GUI is very friendly. That's why JMeter is getting more and more popular. Okay. Now, important phases. So when you are doing performance testing, the main important phases in that is scenario. You need to identify what all scenarios are there. We will see what is a scenario, what's a transaction, what's a request, and all those we will be covering in the introduction. Just as I said, this is a more sort of an overview part. So we'll be seeing how to record a script and how to enhance your script when you, because before you put, if you before you execute it, you have to do some enhancements. We will see what is these enhancements, what are some common enhancements which we do, like correlation and all. We will be covering that, okay. And as someone pointed out, they need interview questions. What I can do, I think this that would be a very good way to go with it. So as soon as I cover the question, like cover a topic, okay, in that itself, whatever interview question can come from that topic, I can call out that question, and we can discuss that question, okay, whatever the correct answer for that. In that way, we will be covering the interview questions also as we progress, rather than keeping all the questions at the end. Okay. Yeah. So again, we'll be covering all this, like why you need to learn JMeter, and why is JMeter capable in is fully capable in performance testing of, like, see, when you see the protocols, or we can say the applications which you can test using JMeter. You have like HTTP based applications you can test, FTP based applications you can test. We will be seeing what is SMTP. Basically, whatever if you have heard, like emails, whichever you send, they use this protocol called SMTP. Okay, we'll be seeing basically it's a mail transfer protocol. We'll be seeing what it is. Then web services, as someone pointed out, like API testing and all. So JMeter can be used for that, for testing databases. You can use there's a JDBC protocol. Okay, we can use JMeter for that. Then we can test the pages or the mobile apps. So multiple applications you can test using JMeter. Okay, JMeter introduction. And mainly, see, nowadays, uh, if you see the importance of performance testing or performance engineering has it's a like it has grown hugely because of mainly the load on the applications. Okay, because initially the applications were not that heavy as it is now, because of the growth of obviously the network connectivity. Everyone has network connectivity, they have smartphones in their hand, so the applications being used, even especially the e-commerce, okay, and the banking sector, the financial applications being used is extensive. Okay, so and due to that only, the demand in the market for performance engineering, because when the loads were minimal, or we can say average, there were no issues which were observed. But nowadays every application is observing this load issues, okay, like the crashes and all, which has led to more requirement of this performance engineering activity. And thus the demand in the market for performance engineers has grown a lot. Okay, if you see the overall trend in the market. And the tool which they are expecting is basically one scripting tool, one profiling tool, one monitoring tool like Neuralink or something, which you some Grafana, Neuralink or some tool, one monitoring tool, and performance engineering concepts, like how you can analyze heap dump, how you can analyze memory leaks, so those things. Okay, so if you know these four things, no, generally any interview is very simple for you. You can easily crack. Now let's say if your experience is above 8 years or something, then or 7 years, they're expecting a bit more on the shell scripting also. So shell scripting is basically how you can write shell scripts for running or analyzing your experiments and all, to get the log details and all. So that's little advanced concept. But if you're below 7 years experience, what all I called out is more than enough. If you know this, you can easily crack any interviews and get into any organization. Okay, especially uh, if you are going for product based organizations, like let's say some Oracle or some organization like that, you will need a bit more knowledge on the shell script, because product based companies, they look for the coding knowledge also. So shell scripting is widely being preferred, because to automate your experiments, or automate your, sorry, not experiments, your tests, what you need to do is you need to know some scripting also, the shell script coding. Okay, so that's why they prefer shell script. So if you can, with this, if you can like try to expand your knowledge in shell scripting, you are then perfectly ready for that. Okay. Yeah, so we'll be covering JMeter features, some comparisons, then introduction, then what all elements are there in JMeter, then the parameterization, what is parameterization, correlation, how you report, how you generate a report, how you do a distributed load test, and some plugins which we need to use in JMeter. Those things we'll be covering. Um, these are some common other tools, open source tools, which are available in market. Just for comparison, why JMeter is so widely used, I gave this, like Grinder, Gatling, Sung, and JMeter. Then we have, then we'll be going into, after the introduction, we'll be going into how you set up an installation. Okay, like the installation of JMeter setup and all those details here. Then once we have that, we'll go with the like generally how you script in JMeter, what all we do for that scripting, how, what's the prerequisites for that, what steps you follow while you script, or we can say when you are developing a script in JMeter. See, when you speak about the testing life cycle, like from scripting to execution to analysis, the major chunk of time what you spend goes in scripting, okay, which is a very major part where you spend a lot of time, because scripting takes a lot of time and effort. Once your script is ready, the other things, like if you divide it to 100, so 50% of the time goes into scripting. Okay, so and let's say 40% goes into or 35 to 40% goes into analysis, 10% goes into execution. If you see the timing, time what you spend, your time. Okay, so that's why you need to be really well versed in scripting, especially if you are like in entry level, or you can say like let's say 4 to 5 years of experience, 4 to 6 years of experience. If you have script, you should be really good at scripting and also analysis. Okay, and execution also. So see, execution is not that a big deal, you can easily learn about it, but the main chunk of time, major chunk of time goes into analysis and scripting. Okay, so that you need to be really good at. Then elements, we'll see different elements in JMeter. What's a thread group? What's a config element? What is a timer? What is different? What is a throughput controller? What are different controllers, samplers? We will be seeing all those. Okay. Then what are assertions? Then preprocessor, post-processor elements. So what are the importance of those? The parameterization, then correlation, which will take most of the time, because correlation is a important concept which we need to be really good at. This is where people get stuck in scripting. Okay, so we will be seeing that extensively for different cases. Okay, not only one case, but different cases. What all I got from my experience, these are the places where people get generally stuck. Okay, and what's the solution for that? So that we will be covering. Then the resulting, like how you report and all, how you debug, how you analyze your script, how you find out bottlenecks, how you run JMeter in GUI, non-GUI mode. We will be seeing that. Then how you run a distributed load test and all those stuff we will be seeing. Okay. Yeah. So let me just quickly show you how JMeter dashboard looks. Okay. Yeah. So currently I'm working as a test architect. So I started with development background, then I went on to different testings I have tried out, and now I'm a test architect and performance engineering team I'm handling from past 3 years with the functional also. So yeah, around total, if you say around 11 to 12. So basically, if I share my screen, is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes, yes, Vishnu, we can see.
Yeah. So yeah, see, basically, sorry, who is, I don't have a name there, not mentioned cloud metric analysis in the content. That's fine. So basically, see, cloud metrics analysis, whatever we are doing in AppDynamics, right? So that is basically is what is a cloud metrics analysis, okay? Because we are linking cloud directly to AppDynamics, so you'll get all the data there. But in case if you want to analyze using the cloud, like I can give some basic commands of Kubernetes and all. We'll be seeing that, like because when we will be deploying the Kubernetes based application, which we will be testing, as I said, in that there are some kubectl commands and all from which you can get the cloud logs and all. You can, yes, yes, we can do, Lavanya. This is just my, I like it in dark way. We can do it in light way also. So let me, there's something here. Yeah, so basically that's what I meant. So cloud metrics analysis we can do, and also using the AWS CloudWatch. If you're using AWS CloudWatch, or else if you are using if another Google Cloud, you have a stack driver monitor there. So you can use that also, but that we are not covering that tool here because our clouds might change based on. But we'll be covering AppDynamics mainly, the to analyze the metrics and also the Kubernetes logs, how you can get in that. Just restarting the JMeter. I guess Lavanya wanted it light color. Yeah, so basically our application will be Kubernetes, Shensha. So we will be covering K8s also, but I will not be showing you the installation or that much deep into Kubernetes, but I'll be going through like how you, what all some basic commands you can use to get the logs. As a performance engineer, what all you require, okay, based on Kubernetes. Like let's say how to get your pod logs, like kubectl describe pods. So those commands and how you execute it and what all you look for, like the errors or like heap errors or out of memory errors. So those things I will be covering in the analysis part. That I haven't mentioned here because it's an advanced concept, advanced level I meant, which we'll be covering. So that will be covering at why during the analysis part. It does. Is it okay, Lavanya now? Yeah, yeah, Shansha. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so basically, to change the, if you are like, I will be going all through this. Okay, like it's not this, as I said, it's an overview. Even installation, I'll be showing everything. I'll be showing, but why I wanted this, I'm just covering all this is because uh, uh, there might be like some who might not be continuing after 2 sessions, right? So they will also get a good idea of what is a JMeter and all. If they can start off with, and when they're doing maybe self-learning also, it will be helpful for them. So that's why I wanted to show quickly what all some important things are there, which they have to look into when they start learning JMeter. Okay, so this is how the JMeter dashboard looks like. There are different options to run the test, stop the test, clean the test, and all those stuff. There's a test plan where you start your test with. Then if you then you add a thread group, you can add a thread group and all. We'll be seeing what all these attributes are regarding a thread group. Like you can define different attributes for thread group. Then there are different elements if you see in JMeter, like sampler, the logic controller. In logic controller there are different controllers, pre-processors are there, post-processors are there, assertions are there, timers are there, test fragments, config elements, listener is there. Then if you see, if you right click on test plan, there's one more extra component which comes, which non-test elements, which is basically the property display, then test script recorder, mirror server. Like for example, property display, if I add, I can see all the JMeter properties, right? What all are I have set. Even I can edit these properties, which we will learn why we need to edit these properties and what are the importance of all these properties. We can edit this and leverage it for our purpose. Okay, so different application tests or different testing scenarios, you need to tweak these properties. So we need to understand how to tweak these properties, what we need to do for that. Okay, so for that we will be seeing like how we can tweak these properties, even system properties. If you see how we can tweak it, that we will be seeing. Then all these elements one by one we will be seeing, and the sub elements we will be seeing the major one. Like for example, config element will be seeing CSV dataset config, HTTP header manager, cookie manager, cache manager, request defaults we'll be seeing. Then we'll be seeing different requests, like for example FTP requests, how we what are the use of and mainly we'll be seeing the HTTP request. Okay, that's what we have here. Then we have pre-processors, post-processors. We'll be seeing post-processor are very important because this is where we talk about the correlation and all, right? So that we'll be seeing in the post-processor section. Okay, and then assertions are very important for execution part of the test. We'll be seeing how we use assertions, what are the importance, then thread groups, how to properly use the thread groups, what are the different ways of using the thread group, that we will be seeing. Then even the test plan, there are different components or different options which we need to select, right? So what are the importance of these options, and what are the scenarios? Like for example, in some scenarios we will be using this where we run the thread groups consecutively, but some scenarios we won't be. So what are the scenarios? Okay, we'll need to understand that cases. Okay, so my course is basically, it will be more sort of case study based. I went I will take a case, I will try to solve that case so that you get a problem and a your solution. Okay. So in that way, you learn some real project sort of experiences. Like for example, this problem came and this was a solution which I did for that problem. Because generally what happens in any course is we just try to complete the content. But what I felt is when it's a training, especially when it's a tool based training, it's more sort of problem and a solution with the tool knowledge, okay, which is required. So that's why when I will go to the execution part, I will be covering cases one by one. Even when I cover the elements, okay, when we come through one element, um, like for example, when I speak about logic controllers, like for example, if there is a once only controller, like I will be explaining what is a once only controller, and also what cases, what case example this once only controller can be used. Okay, like for example, if you have an authentication token, it needs to be run only once. So in that case, this once only control is used. So if there is a login and you need to log in only once in that scenario, then afterwards what all transactions happened or activities happen, you don't need to log in again and again. Okay, so those situations you need to use once only controller. So those, that small details, okay, because this is what will help you in the interviews. In interviews they will not ask what is a once only controller or what is this thread group, but they will ask for some problems which you faced and the solution which you applied, right? So that way we will progress with this course, right? Yeah, so that's regarding the JMeter dashboard and how it looks. Any question, anyone, regarding this? Yeah, there is no question like very simple question or a hard question or a silly question. Okay, question is a question for me. So you can ask any question to me anytime, because every question will cover some or the other more topics also. In that way, you will get to learn more. If the questions are less, um, I will be going through what I have. So better to ask more questions. In that way, you will be more clear. Okay, and you can make it more interactive. I meant you can always interrupt me if you are not understanding, if my pace is fast or something, if you want me to slow down, if you want me to come back to some other topic again, I can come back again. Hours, it's fine if it shoots little ahead also. Like if I say 30 hours, 33 hours is fine for me. Ultimately I want every one of you to uh, get the real essence of this course properly. Yeah, we can do that. Let me show you one simple run, but I think I don't have any scenarios created now in this machine. Karthik, so basically, if it is in the evening, if audience wants it in the evening, let's say, um, So basically, I will have to see the CST time. So let's say we can keep it maybe some 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. in that time. So let's see. Yeah, around 7:30 p.m. in that time we can keep 7:30 to 8:30 or something like that. So that even US timing also they can, because it will be early, very early morning if I keep it. Yeah, it's even 6:30 p.m. is fine. Yeah, so sometime between 6:30 to 8:30 we'll be keeping the course. That also not my call. It will be based on the audience what they prefer. We can keep the course in that time, but obviously it will be after 6:30 because my time also I need to plan. I will not be free before that, so it will be after 6:30 only. Yeah. Okay, so this is one small scenario which I have, but just a second. Yeah, so basically this is one script which I have currently in this machine because I use only for trainings. So I haven't kept any scripts here in this machine, but this is one script which I had created for generate. It's a small script created for a tool called Gremlin. If anyone heard, it's a chaos engineering tool, which is because I take one more course called chaos engineering, which is very common nowadays. Everyone is speaking about how like it's more sort of reliability testing and all. No? So there, what I did in the script is I had a latency at sort of attack for Gremlin, okay, from Gremlin tool. Then we had a load generation for that for whatever request which we are sending. So we had a IP of this, an application hosted onto this IP, okay. So I'm hitting that IP using this request and all, but not now that IP will not be there because as soon as the course is done, we delete that machines, okay. So this will not work. So one, if I try to run this, I will just disable the Gremlin attack. So now that IP will not be reachable, okay, because we have deleted that instance, right? See, now this one, so basically the request will be there and the response, right? So now since that IP won't be there, that's why you get this connect error, okay? Then the request is there. What the request which we are hitting? The get request, HTTP, whatever the URL which we are hitting, and the data, the response data, the request headers, what we are sending, that you will see here. We'll be seeing all this, okay, no need to worry like how I'm seeing all this. I'll be going very deep into all this like analysis, like why you're getting such errors, different errors which you get when you run a test and all, once we start doing it. Right, so any other question, or else we can stop it here for today, or I can take questions now. Yeah, so basically DB projects, there is one another course which I take, which is basically database performance engineering. So I cover the DB extensively in that course. So here I can show, I can cover obviously the web services and the rest of the services and GUI. That we will be covering obviously. DB, let's see if time constraints are not there. I can note it down. I can try to cover it at the end of the sessions, because it's an extensively different course. DB, it's because it requires a lot of different other things also which you need to learn, uh, because simply by running a request and showing it, it will not be enough. So that's why we have a different course. Yeah, so Karthik, basically certifications you can easily clear, with especially performance certifications, and also I guess from Isha also you will get one certificate by end of this course. Okay, so so that also will be useful for you in your interviews and all. And once you finish this course, I don't feel uh, there will be any interview which you can't clear which says JMeter. Okay, because you will get lot of examples and questions from this course itself. So only thing is you will have to do some hands-on after this course, because you should not forget. Otherwise, if you see, generally many of my students come back and say, "Sir, whatever you had taken came in the interview, but I couldn't answer. But when I went back to the video and watched it, I found the answer in that video." Okay, so that's why. So when you will have these recordings also with you, so before you attend any interviews or anything, you can revise this course also from the videos. And also with hands-on, otherwise you will forget when you're attending the interview. If someone asks what is his element, if you haven't worked on it, by just seeing the video you will forget. Okay, so whatever I take in the class, if you do some hands-on after the class or during the class, that's more than enough. Yeah, Neeraj, that's more than enough. Yeah, Neeraj, I guess you had some question. Yeah, Neeraj. Okay. So yeah, this will be covering obviously in the course. Okay, how you go from shift left, because as I spoke about shift left, no. So how basically the challenge was not switching from development to performance. Okay, it was very easy only. It was not that tough for me, because with people who have development background, getting into the testing, but mine was more sort of engineering. I meant testing I never entered into much. It was more sort of setting up pipelines, setting up the environments, testing, finding out uh, the test profiling, and in that way, okay, it's little bit deeper compared to the general testing. But obviously when you get into testing, you need to learn different tools, because you need to guide your team to efficiency. So we have extensive work. I had to extensively worked on different tools, not only performance, even functional, like especially Selenium and all. So yeah, so development to testing is not that a big deal. It's easy only because you already know different coding concepts, right? Even JMeter, if you have a development knowledge, JMeter is totally based on Java. Okay, so you can very much tweak this JMeter tool, customize it to your need. So it's a simple journey.
Sir, apart from that, I would like to ask a question. At the moment in our company, all the builds are getting means in the server at night.
Neeraj,
So using Gen. Yes,
your sound
yes,
is. Can you start? Sorry, I missed you in between.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
All the builds
Yes.
are
Mhm.
all the build deployments and everything is in the midnight at the
Mhm.
moment,
Yeah,
right? So they want a type of performance testing script, whenever
Mhm.
the builds are going to deploy, and the
Yeah,
testing should be done automatically without any human interaction
correct. So that's why
for
you need to create
performance
a
testing.
JMeter. Yeah, that's why you need to create a JMeter pipeline. I meant stage inside Jenkins. If you're using Jenkins, are you using Jenkins?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So
We are
basically,
using Jenkins.
yeah. Yeah, so basically what you need to do is you need to create a stage inside that build
Okay.
itself for JMeter, okay? So and your script should be
Okay.
uploaded into that whatever repo you are using, GitHub or Bitbucket or that script should be uploaded and that pipeline should run. Once your pipeline is triggered, automatically that stage will also run, right?
Okay. And
Yeah,
sir, if
that will be done. Hmm.
say for example, if we are testing any application, means
Hmm.
using JMeter from our own premises, right?
Hmm.
So we have different set of means reporting tools. Like
Hmm.
so, what number of criteria means we can which we are using in the local machine that can be taken in the report for the means a cloud-based system. Like say for example, if we are using a Blaze Meter plugin or anything like that.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that kind of technical reporting that will be means included in this course training.
Yeah, correct. So basically, see, technical reporting in sense, we will be I will be showing you how you can report. Like for example, generally, whenever you're reporting any performance testing or activity, one is observations, like, and one is the report. So report, what mainly you give the metrics is throughput and the response time, right? And also the 90th percentile when it comes to response time. Generally we people look into 90th percentile. Now this is the reporting. Now observations or the what you observed. So that is your analysis part. Like for example, what all logs you analyze, like you found, okay, the response time of this is above some SLA or NFR, okay, like for example 100 milliseconds is what we want, so but we are getting 200 milliseconds, and the reasons what you found out, like from the logs or from the AppDynamics, you put your screenshot, you will put your links, especially you break down how you do a breakdown analysis. So that all we will be covering. Yes, is that your question, Neeraj?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah,
Got
okay,
it, sir.
okay.
Sir, I joined a little bit late, so I would like to know your name, sir.
Yeah, it's my name is Vishnu. So we had a small introduction also. I
Okay,
currently work as a test architect. So generally, I handle the testing activities overall in the project. Yeah,
okay,
that's yeah. And also one more thing, everyone. This course is mainly focusing on performance engineering, not only testing also. Okay, so because I feel the testing is far gone. People are Many organizations are looking for performance engineers only nowadays, not testers alone. Okay, so I my main focus, the way which I teach, will be more sort of a performance engineering, where I will be more stressing into some fundamentals. Okay, not only the high level testing and you execute and that's all done. No, I will also be covering some engineering concepts like what are heap dumps, what are thread dumps, how you do a heap analysis and all. Though there is a performance engineering course separately, a whole course, but here I will be covering the essence of that, like which will be useful for you to do your analysis. Okay, as per the time. Yeah. Okay. So if no more questions, we can stop here. We can continue tomorrow. Any more questions? Yeah, so basically test architects are we handle the overall testing domain, okay? Like for example, the functional, the security testing, the performance testing. So